my name is HAPruitt and I'm the author of the Anathalian series, and in this video I'm going to do a book review of a second book in a series. So before I do the review, I want to say that it's so important to do reviews for books. Whatever kind of review you give the book, it is a review that tells the author what the readers think about it, and it tells other readers about the book, because not everybody likes the same books. And so while some people may say one thing about a book, another reviewer may say the total opposite thing. And so the more reviews a book gets, the more people have a good understanding of if they're gonna like the book. So readers who are buying books read reviews more than they read the description of the book that the author writes. So your reviews matter so much to authors. So the book I'm going to review today is the second book in the series, World Saving and Other Disasters by Bethany Meyer. The first book is Robbing Centaurs and Other Bad Ideas, and I have done my book review on that, and I have the video of that, and I will put the link to that video in the description. If you haven't read either book, go watch the one for the first book first. I'm not going to try to spoil anything, but it may spoil something. So watch the video for Robbing Centaurs and Other Bad Ideas, which I think is like the best title ever. Go watch that video first, and then come back and watch this video after you get done reading the first one. Or if you're just curious about both of them, watch them both first and then read the books. So, World Saving and Other Disasters by Bethany Meyer is the second book in the series. And it is an epic fantasy. It takes place in a whole other world, and it's funny, it's humorous. I would say the audience is YA. And the summary of the second book, no spoilers, Archer and Wick continue to try to save Arrow from the Scorch. Arrow is A-R-O, and I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I say it in my mind when I read. So Wick and Archer continue to try and save Arrow from the Scorch. So I loved the first book so much, Robbing Centaurs and Other Bad Ideas. If you haven't read it, it's so funny, and it's just great and fun and wonderful, and like, if you haven't read the first one, you just need to, because it's great. I read the first one while I was in my first trimester of pregnancy, and everything was awful and bad and sad, but when I read that book, like, I found happiness, and so it was magical for me. It was absolutely magical for me. And so I also think that this is a really great series to encourage teens, like especially teen boys, because the main characters are boys, and the books don't feel girly at all. They feel like they could appeal to anybody. And so I think this series is a really good series to encourage teens who may not want to read, because it's so fun and it's cool, and like, I think everyone can love Archer. But because I loved the first book so much, I had like really high expectations. Like, my expectations for this second book were like off the roof. Like, I was just like, this second book is going to be the best book I've ever read. And because of that, I think that the book came off like a little bit like, oh, that's not what I expected. It didn't have much. It didn't have a lot of what I loved in the first one. A lot of the things I really loved in the first one didn't come back in the second one. And so because of that, I didn't love it. I didn't love it. So I'm going to explain that. I really loved Wick and Archer's contrasting personalities in Robbing Centaurs and Other Bad Ideas. If you've read the book, you know, I don't know who else to compare it to, but it's like if Ella and Tad, like the two in my book, it's like if Ella and Tad had their own book series and they had to save the world together. It would be so funny. And I'm going to tell you, in later books of the Anathalian series, Ella and Tad do get stuck together, and it's hilarious. And it's like if they got stuck together, that's what it's like. It's so funny. They contrast so much. But in World Saving and Other Disasters, Wick and Archer were separated a lot of the time, so you didn't get that funny like play off of each other's personalities. You didn't get that a lot. And whenever they were together, they had to kind of switch roles, and so you didn't get Archer's like snarky, sarcastic personality as much, and you didn't get Wick's like straightforward, serious, I'm trying to be optimistic about this personality. They didn't have that contrast, and that made me really sad, because I really love them contrasting with each other and playing off of each other. But the second one didn't have that very much. And Also, I love the crazy situations and the wacky ways that they handled them in Robbing Centaurs and Other Bad Ideas. They just get in such weird things and they handle them in such funny ways. But in World Saving and Other Disasters, how they obtained the Heatherstones, this time it felt like way too easy and a little too coincidental. Even when it started to seem like they did have a challenge, it ended up actually not being a challenge. In the first book, they had so many challenges, and you were like, how are they going to get out of this? But in this book, it was like, oh, they found a stone, okay. Okay, they found another stone, okay. Okay, they found the stones. And you kind of wondered, like, where the conflict, where the crazy situations were, and you just didn't get those in this book. I did like that I got to find out more about Archer in this book. You get a lot of Archer's backstory, who he is, why he is the way he is, and I did like that a lot. Is it Frutolkin? The drink that his family has? I like the whole thing with Frutolkin. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they have like this special drink. I liked that. I liked learning about his parents and his brother and just his grandfather and all the different things with that. I really liked learning more about the characters and how he became a deeper character. I liked that a lot. But no, I'm not going to say my other bit about this because that would spoil things. There's a but to that, but I'm not going to say it. It would spoil things. And I also appreciated that this book had some more depth to it, a little bit more meaningful messages. Like this one's just wacky and funny, and if you're sad and in your first trimester of pregnancy, read it and you won't feel so sad and angry all the time. But this one, it had meaning and messages and a little deeper stuff to it. But I do wish the pace of the book hadn't been so fast, so the meaning could have had time to develop. It was still fast paced, and so you didn't have time to like resonate on the meaning and get deeper into it. It had depth, but I wanted more depth too. And my next note in my notebook is to say how great Bethany Meyer is and how she is a great author. So it may have sounded like I didn't like this second book, but I did enjoy reading it. Like I said, the expectation for this first book, like, it just put the bar so high that this one, it was a good book. Like, good books are right here, but this one was like way up here. And so that's why this one doesn't sound as good as this one, because it's not as good, but this was like extra good, way up there. You can't even see it on my camera because I'm holding it way high up, as high as I can. But I did enjoy reading this book. I thought it was fun. I thought it was good. I thought, like, it made sense in the storyline, what happened. And I still want to read the third one. I still want to find out what happens in the third one. And it brought out some interesting, the plot got a little interesting with some extra characters, but I don't want to talk about that because that would spoil things. But I thought that was interesting how those things came into play. So it was a good book. So if you've read the first one and you love the first one, keep reading the series because you're going to want to know what happens. Even though the second isn't as good as the first, I still would recommend it to anyone who reads the first one and enjoys it. And I gotta say how great Bethany Meyer is. Like, she writes very uniquely, and she writes just fun, good humor. Like, you can't find a lot of good, clean humor, and how she just builds up the situations is humorous in itself. Like, it's just good humor that you can laugh at and enjoy and just feel good about reading her books. And you should follow her because she's funny and she likes to share. If you're an independent author or trying to self-publish or do anything with books, you should follow her because she started to try and share about how she does her stuff and give tips and help and guidance, and I just think that's so great. I've been watching her, like, marketing, her little mini marketing series about that, because I've been trying. Okay, I'm not going to talk about myself, because you just should follow her, because she has all kinds of great things, and she's encouraging to others. She has posts where she checks on you and sees how you're doing, and I just think she's great. I think she's so great, and her book covers are great, and her books are great, and her writing is great, and she's great. And so I don't want anybody to think, and I especially don't want Bethany to think that I'm like, oh, your second book's not good. I don't want to say that at all. I think your first book has such a great, it's so great that your second one can't be as great, but I still think they're both really good. And like I said, I'm still gonna get, like, I don't keep reading a series. I just don't. Like, most series, I have the first book, and then I'm like, I'm not going to get the second one because I don't feel intrigued enough. But I bought the paperback of both your books. I am so stingy. I won't buy anything for myself, but I bought these 2 books for myself because I wanted to keep reading them, and they are so pretty. I just had to have the paperbacks. Yeah, so that's me bragging on her. There's probably more to brag about on her, but do read this series, and do read this series, like, and also comment, have you read it? Like, you can find them on Amazon. She also is selling them, like, signed and with what people call merchandise with stickers, and they'll come with bookmarks and things. So just, like, find her on Instagram and find her on YouTube. She's probably got a website. If I find it, I will put it in the description. And just buy her books and enjoy them. Have you, like I was saying, my brain is all over the place. Put in the comments, have you read these books? What do you think of the second one? How did it come off to you? Did you enjoy it as much as the first one? Like I said in the very beginning, everybody views books differently. So what did you think of the second one? Have you read it? Do you want to read it? And share this video, like this video, do whatever else you do with videos. And I think I've come to the end of my video, so thank you for watching. Bye! If you want to know more about Anathalion or HAPruitt, please follow me on Instagram at HAPruitt. You can find me on Amazon as an Amazon author, HAPruitt. Please watch my YouTube channel and all my cool videos on my channel, HAPruitt Anathalion. You can find me on the Facebook page, HAPruitt Anathalion. You can follow me on Goodreads by the name HAPruitt and the book Anathalion, or you can go to my website where so much cool stuff about Anathalion is. The website is HAPruitt.com. Me and my crazy hair looking like I have a bird's nest on my head.